Hey creators, thanks for coming back to my channel. For today, we're working on this scary fallen angel look. Make sure to like and subscribe. I post new content twice a week and for the 13 days of Halloween. And let's go get creating. Alright guys, so for this look, like everything else, we're going to be using our primer first. Not that anyone really needs to be told this because we are mostly grown-ups and also because of what's going on right now. But if you're going to use your hands to apply any of your makeup, make sure that you wash them really well. So now that I am a primer convert, and I love how this helps everything sit on my skin. Does anyone notice a difference when they use the specific eyeshadow primer versus just using face primer all over your face? Even my everyday looks, I really tend to focus on my eyeliner, or not my eyeliner. I tend to focus on my eyeshadow, just my general eyes and all the time. I was just curious if it really matters if you have the eyeshadow on there. I don't really have the issue where some people have, and they have the crease after wearing their makeup all day. I don't tend to have that grease that causes that crease, but I do want to just make sure that it blends really well. And if you do think that it's important, can you tell me down below what is your favorite one? So while I'm working on this look, I'm also going to be watching Friday the 13th in the background, get us into our spooky mood. I was told today, I was talking about today about the different classic scary Halloween movies, and I've always been partial to Nightmare on Elm Street. I love Freddy. It's one of my favorites out of all the campy Halloween movies. But we were talking about Jason and Friday the 13th, and I realized that between Friday the 13th and Halloween, I get them so confused with each other. Does anyone else feel like their stories are a little bit similar? So I am currently watching Friday the 13th in the background, and we'll see if I realized what I was doing this whole time or not. As you can see, I'm starting with my eyebrows. We're working on a fallen angel today, so I'm going to be having the whole top part of my face is going to have more extra makeup, so I just want to make sure we focus on that in the beginning. Oh, and the eyebrow pencil that I'm using right now is just one that I got at the drugstore, and it's just Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Micro Brow Pencil. Yeah, I think it's just dark brown. It doesn't really say. It's really strange that it doesn't have a code or anything. This is what I've been using. I know that it's not the best, but I'm really not great at my brows. I get that I'm not great at my brows, but they're so thick on their own that I don't really want to invest too much money. Who names their children Amos? Oh my god, I could never imagine a time where I was at a rest stop and I was like, sure, I'll go with you. Why not? That sounds wonderful. If anyone who is watching this is a younger person and they make the smart decision to get in the car with a stranger and another stranger says, oh, you're never coming back, you're gonna die. Maybe let's not do that. Not the smartest idea. In case you missed my first video, make sure when you're using your beauty blender to get it damp first. Definitely a huge game changer. Today's look is actually a new one for me. I've been wanting to do this look for a while and I just haven't tried to do it, so let's cross our fingers and it works out for all of us. Does anybody else have a look that they've been meaning to do for a while and they just never ended up doing it? I actually decided to do this look today for two reasons. One, because when I was looking for all the accessories at Spirit Halloween to do my 13 looks, I found a great addition for this one, which you'll see towards the end of the video. And also because today was supposed to be my witch day and my witch hat is in the car, and I do all of these videos at like 1 a.m. in the morning because it's the only time I can get away from my child screaming in the background, and it's cold outside today. So that is why you get this one today and not my witch one. My witch one might come out tomorrow. I think I might do it tomorrow, or maybe mermaid. This beauty blender is actually an off-brand one. I was gifted a set of brushes and this was in the brushes. It's working pretty well. I like the fact that it has a nice point on the end. The beauty blender that I've been using is very much loved. I probably should just get a new nice one, but since this was given to me, I think it's okay. I really like the tip on the top of this one. This is the one that I normally use. It's very well loved, as you can see, and the tip is kind of disappeared. As I wash it, it gets all these cracks in it. It's about time to get a new one, but I miss having this part on this one, so I might go buy another one of these. So, like all of my other videos, we're using our James Charles palette. Ooh. It's a Fallen Angel look, so because the James Charles palette doesn't have very many grays, and for some reason, I went through this purge and I got rid of a whole bunch of my eyeshadow palettes, which in hindsight was probably pretty stupid. So the only one that I have left that has a gray in it is this one that I got gifted for me for Christmas. And anytime I'm like, it was gifted to me for Christmas and I know that it's like a cheaper palette, I wouldn't suggest, honestly, I wouldn't really suggest anyone to use it unless you are trying to use everything you have, and I never will not use a gift that someone got me. So this is the palette that I have, and it has, so the reason that we're going to be using it is because I really want some grays, and although I will use the black in the James Charles palette and just try to lighten and get it to be that color, I am going to be using these two grays towards the end, and I will have to layer them a lot. This one's gonna be really heavy around this area. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put my foundation on. I know that I'm going to have fall off, but I'll just handle it after if I have to. I'm using the same foundation I've been this whole time. It's the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter foundation in the color 200. And yes, I do know that the color is a little bit off for me, but I'm going to be going out soon and getting my winter foundation. Look, it's the makeup version of Naruto. If you didn't know, I'm an anime girl at heart, although I am one of the few that absolutely hates Naruto. One of the things I don't like about this foundation is I feel like in comparison, because the last foundation that I really liked that I was using a lot, but I used to use an Urban Decay foundation and it worked so good and it didn't dry down really fast on my skin like this one does. But unfortunately, as I've said, I do have a toddler and he was playing with my makeup and he dropped it, and it's a glass bottle. And although I did try to save it, I wasn't able to save it. The underneath of my eye is a little bit dark. It's just from makeup that I haven't gotten off from wearing it earlier, but honestly, it's going to be, this look, because it's a Fallen Angel, I'm gonna have like eyeshadow coming down, so it doesn't really matter. I would totally just have this movie playing for all of us to listen to in the background if I wasn't worried about copyright infringement, because I didn't realize how funny stupid this is. Okay, so we're gonna start with this color right here. Actually, for a cheaper eyeshadow, this isn't too bad. So now out of the same palette, we're gonna be using the second color. Okay, so this is where you can really see that this is a cheaper palette. That first color was pretty good. This one, you can't even tell that it's there. So I'm now using the black in the James Charles palette. Trying to be really, really light-handed so it looks gray. So now I'm using the same black and I'm just using a heavier hand and just kind of stamping it into my skin. I'm going to put a small bit of this loose pigment from Surreal makeup. It's Lava Dragon. And on the end, I'm putting the Ice Dragon. The only issue with the loose pigment that I've really found is the fall off. I like to use it with a heavy hand. So when you purchase it, if you purchase it from them like at a convention or in person, they tell you to just pop one of the holes in the sifter, and it's just not enough product for me. So I pull the whole thing off so you can see all the holes. So you can, I don't want it to fall out, but so you can see all the holes. They want you to just pop one of them. It's just not enough for me. So I do all of them, but because of that, there's a lot of fall off. I knew that was gonna happen, and you can actually see my foundation is completely gone now. So we're gonna add some black underneath, and now we're going to be using our Epic Ink liner. I really want to use my Mario liner, but somehow between my bathroom and my studio, I put it somewhere and I can't find it anywhere, and I don't want to spend another, I think it was $20 on just that liner. I can't do it, so we're just gonna deal with using this one. I think that this one was like $9. So now I'm gonna go in and do my other eye. I know I did that first layer of eyeshadow. That was because I don't know, I don't pay attention. I don't know. Anyway, so the rest of my eye I'm gonna do off camera just because it's a really long process and you don't need to necessarily watch me intently doing everything. I'm kind of hoping that this will help inspire you to do your own looks for Halloween. Okay. So now that those are done, it's time for the kind of crazy part. So using a big brush, and I'm going to actually use the High Impact Highlighter Palette by Morphe. We're going to start with this color. It's called Meteor. Make sure you get your brush nice and coated. Almost like you're contouring, but if you weren't planning on super blending it in and you just dragging it down your face. So I wasn't planning on putting it over my eyebrows, but the length of it and the length of my forehead, I kind of have to put it over my eyebrows. But if you have a bigger forehead, you don't have to. But if you just have like, if you can see, I have a small area right here that I would be leaving, and that would just, it would look like it was unfinished. Dragging it down my face, dragging it down my face. I do want to take my spoolie, take some of that gold out of my eyebrows. Okay, so then you're gonna take the same brush. If you have any of that gold left, it's fine. We're going to use the color Comet. I know that my palettes are a little bit dirty. I tried to clean them up a little bit, but they're very well loved. So we're gonna be using this color right here, this one. This movie is so silly. It's like the epitome of, I'm a stupid teenager, please come and kill me. So now we wanna put it on top of that. Kind of the same way I contour. Oh, I wish that was a little bit darker. So I'm actually going to use this purple right here and put that on top. Oh yeah. Okay. So I want to add my highlight now, just so that it's underneath the next fun step. We are going to go with, let's see. So we're using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild palette again. And for highlight, we're gonna go with this one, which is Purple Horseshoe. Yeah, Purple Horseshoe. And so we're an angel. So we want to really, well, we're a fallen angel. So I'm trying to really shine that highlight. You can definitely see me from the sky. Okay, wish I could. What would we use? I'm just trying to blend it in just a little bit because it's a little bit bright for what I want. So before we go to the fun step, I do want to add a little bit of a contour just under my chin, just to make my jaw look a little more snatched. And just like before, we're going to be using the Morphe shade Donut. So I will suggest that if you're doing this for wearing it for Halloween, you're definitely going to want to put some of these colors up here on your ears, especially if you decide to wear your hair up or half up, or however you decide to do it. If you are going to show, if you're going to show your ears at all, you're definitely going to need to make that so that they match. The issue is that the blender brush that I have one, and I don't have the color changer, which I wish I did. We are actually going to use a different product today. So this is also a well-loved product of mine, especially for any of my cosplay work, or if I want a really heavy eyeliner that I want to do with a brush. I use the Ben Nye Cake. It's in black. It's a very well-loved product. They have a solution that makes it so that it lasts longer. If I end up doing Harley Quinn, I mean, if I don't do Harley Quinn during the 13 days, at some point I'm going to be doing Harley Quinn on the channel. And so there is a solution, a mixing solution that they use, that they suggest, that makes it last longer, a little bit more polished, that I really like. It's actually in my cosplay kit, which I don't have. I have mostly my beauty stuff up here with me. Well, I'm going to just use water for what we're doing today. Get a brush, get it wet, and then I put it in there. The more wet that it gets, the more watery it's going to be. So that's how it looks right now. I'm going to just paint it on there. So now what I use is I get a really, really tiny brush like this one. We're gonna do drips. Also want to do some drips from our eyes. If you do end up using the Ben Nye, make sure your smudges underneath your eyes, use the Ben Nye because it is a little bit of a different shade from the eyeshadow. I want to take the bigger brush, have this come down. So if you're not doing the drips, you might want to get it to not be quite so wet, just so that you can get it nice and dark. We're gonna go back to the smaller brush. So if you are of a more mature age, we'll say, and you are doing this and you find that you're having a hard time around this area, because as we get older, we get a little bit more creases, just pat the color in. Don't brush it in, just pat it in. And actually, this is a good makeup if you do have the creases and you're self-conscious about them, because you can do these drips however you want. Oh, they're asking for a dime for the payphone. Remember when payphones? Actually, no one remembers when payphones were around. I actually, back when I was doing costume commissions, I made a costume and drove it down to Pennsylvania for a customer, and my boyfriend, but my now husband, and I took pictures because in the middle of Pennsylvania, it was kind of probably close to Amish country. Actually, no. It was right near where Silent Hill is, because I love all things scary, and of course we had to check out where Silent Hill is. There was a rest stop, kind of a creepy rest stop, and they had a payphone that actually worked, and we were shocked. We're going to take the Lava Dragon color, add it. Okay. And we're gonna try something, see if it works. If it doesn't work, we're not gonna do it. We're going to take the black. And today's lashes are from LA Colors. We're going to be doing Queen of the Night lashes. Oh, in case I haven't been saying, my lash glue is the Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive with aloe. Has anyone used the magnetic lashes? These lashes are humongous. So normally I don't do this, but I really don't want to get my lip gloss color all weird. I'm gonna put it on this brush. There we go, nice glob. I think this is pretty much it. Now let me do a couple more finishing touches and I'll be right back.